Today we're gonna do a review of the Bellroy Lite packing caddies. I've been testing these out for many moons now, both here on the Nomadization channel in our reviews and in my personal travels. In this video, I'm gonna give you my honest pros and cons. We're gonna pack them out, we're gonna compare them to traditional packing cubes, and if you're not quite sure that these are the packing cube slash caddies of your needs, then you're gonna wanna stick around to the end of the video where I'll make some alternative suggestions that might be a bit more up your alley. Let's talk about the gist of the Bellroy Lite packing caddies. Bellroy is an Australian carry company. They're known for making really great carry gear. This extends to wallets that carry your money, cases that carry your phone, bags that carry your gear, and now caddies, AKA like packing cubes to carry the gear inside your travel bag. And they're cool because it's like Bellroy said, hey, let's take the traditional packing cube, which you can see, this is the large one from Peak Design, and this is the smaller one from Peak Design. And these are the typical shapes and sizes that you see packing cubes offered in. And Bellroy's kind of like, why is this the status quo? And they challenge themselves to create something different. And I think that it's gonna really work in some ways, but it also has some cons to it as well. Now, before we pack these out, let's talk about some quick specs. It comes in two sizes. You've got an 8-liter or a 10-liter. And both are super simple. You just got a top grab handle and this center zipper. No additional organization, no pockets. It's basically just a very simple bag. But I think what makes it special is the shape and the fabric. And we'll talk about those both in depth in just a second. And for all that, the 8-liter runs around 30 USD and the 10-liter around 35 USD. And if at any point during this review you're thinking about picking one of these up, we highly recommend doing so with the first link in the description. Reason being, that link makes sure that you get the best price, and we oftentimes have discount codes. But that link also helps support the Nomadization YouTube channel and team, so we can keep making the best bag and gear reviews on the web. Thank you very much. Now, let's talk about the materials used. The zipper should be YKK. Bellroy always uses YKK. Confirmed. But one of my favorite parts about this caddy is this fabric. As you can see, it's got a nice sort of ripstoppy, melange, crinkly nylon fusion effect. I know it's a lot of different things, but as always, Bellroy just knocked it out of the park with this material. And although it's lightweight, it's got a bit of thickness to it. It doesn't feel like it's gonna rip or tear. It's super strong. It's just beautiful and it feels great to the touch. And you can see on the inside, it has some sort of PU coating, which is also gonna provide a bit of extra weather resistance as well. And what's interesting about these caddies is, as opposed to a packing cube, where it doesn't serve a lot of functions aside from being a packing cube, right? Because it's just this weird square shape and it's meant to fit inside a travel bag. But the shape of this and the handle, I think gives you a lot more versatility, but we'll talk about that in a second. First, let's pack them out. So here we have the 10-liter and the 8-liter and the Peak Design for reference, fully decked out. Now, one thing I'm gonna go ahead and say is that these caddies are awesome for shoes. In fact, we've been using this reddish one in our Nomadization reviews for months now. And you're not really gonna get that with a traditional packing cube quite in the same way. Is it possible? Sure. Do you wanna do it? No. I got my size 9 Nike Air Force Ones. You can see these fit in with room to spare. And the handle, it's kind of dope. The shape, it's like, yo, it's more than just a packing cube. It's not a packing cube, it's a caddy. And we're gonna see if the size 9 shoes also fit in the 8-liter version. It's a bit tighter, but absolutely making it work. So shoes, check. Another thing that I used the caddy for during my travels was for laundry. And it's quite nice because if you can get this to hang up somewhere, it's not easy because there's no like clip, right? So you gotta find a spot in the Airbnb or hotel that you can clip onto. But if you can, you just get like a little half zip and it's just a spot that you're just like throwing your spare laundry. I used this when I was in Vietnam. I actually don't think I was able to hang it up anywhere, but I just used it for like my dirty laundry bag, and then I kept my clean clothes in my packing cube, dirty clothes in my caddy. It was just easy, like a nice clear separation of church and state that way. All right, so I've taken all the clothes out of my Peak Design packing cube, which had 6 shirts and 3 pairs of shorts. For me, if I'm traveling, I'll usually keep shirts, shorts, pants, etc. in the larger packing cube, and then underwear, socks, undershirts in the smaller packing cube. So in the 8-liter, you can see that our 6 shirts are fitting in there pretty nicely. Zip it on shut. We're not tight right now, but it's a good feel. I think you're getting 7, maybe 8 shirts in there max. Obviously, you can kind of move things around a little bit and maybe army roll your clothes to be more efficient with your actual shirt packing. But more or less, I say the 8 liters around 7 shirts. Now for the larger one, we're gonna put those 6 shirts in there. And obviously we should have, I don't know, 30% more space. And yeah, you can see we've got that on the top and here. So our extra 2 pair of shorts should fit in tight, but still fit. And this just kind of showcases like the pro and the con of a design like this. Pro, it's kind of more fun, more interesting. You've got the handle. It can do more things with shirts and with shoes. But notice that we kind of lost a little bit of that efficiency that packing cubes can give us. And maybe not a ton, but at the end of the day, there's no compression on this versus, you know, your Peak Design packing cubes or a lot of packing cubes in the market. You actually have zippers that allow you to compress the packing cube down even further so you can pack more stuff. And just the overall shape of this, at the end of the day, it might not be the most efficient. Now, testing that out in an actual travel bag, this is the Bellroy Lite 30 liter. And you can see inside of here, it just utilizes space in a different way. As to where a traditional packing cube boasts a square-like design and therefore typically fits in a travel bag just very, very nicely at the bottom, gives you a nice base. But the fit inside your travel bag for these guys is just different. It's not that it's less efficient necessarily. I guess it depends on how you like to Tetris around your travel bag. So I think, you know, as a laundry bag, when you get to your destination, it's great. As a shoe bag, it works really well. But the actual like jigsaw of internal organization with a travel bag, results may vary depending on how you pack. Let's wrap this up by talking about the overall pros and the cons of the Bellroy Lite Caddy. Pro number 1 is its versatility, as it's able to carry shoes, clean clothes, and dirty clothes. Pro number 2 is I just love the fabric that's being used, as always with Bellroy. And pro number 3, the handle also just kind of dope. Gives you a bit of extra versatility. I ended up using these handles quite a bit on my travels. But on the flip side, let's talk about some cons. Con number 1 is it might not be the most efficient way to organize gear inside your backpack. Actually, let me know your thoughts on that, because like I know we got some hardcore, like nerdy packers in this community. I love y'all, and I want to know, like, is this not the right travel Tetris for you within your packing bag? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Con number 2 is going to be the lack of really any compression. And con number 3 is the access is a bit more compromised, especially when compared to the clamshell opening of a traditional packing cube. But if you're still watching this, you might be thinking to yourself, A, awesome matching job, Aaron, between your t-shirt and the packing caddy. And B, I love that thing and I'm totally buying one. And if that's the case, we just want to remind you, we do recommend doing so with the first link in the description. That's where you can get the best price, and if we have any discount codes, that's where it is. But if you're not quite sold, let's talk about some alternatives that might better suit your needs. Alternative recommendation number 1 is going to be the Peak Design packing cube set. Great pick for you if you're coming here for a packing cube and you thought this was the answer, but then you realize, nah, I'm going with the classier, more traditional approach. And if that's the case, Peak Design makes some of the best packing cubes for a classier, more traditional approach, with still having some very modern features, like its expansion, its ability to compress, its quick open system. They're kind of considered the gold standard of packing cubes. And for my second alternative suggestion, you're gonna wanna check out the Westbreeze packing cubes. These guys are a bit newer on the scene, but boy, did they blow us away. Especially if you like a packing cube that has the ability to hang with a handle, and you like the idea of a modular, like portable wardrobe. Westbreeze redesigned the packing cube from the ground up, and we were really impressed with them here at Nomads Nation. Honestly, all 3 bags have their pros and cons, but to learn more about the alternatives, just go ahead and watch these videos here. If you got any questions about any bags, packing cubes, slings, or anything, be sure to let me know in the comments below or in the Nomads Nation subreddit. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Aaron, this is Nomads Nation, and we'll catch you next time.